Hope you guys are watching because we're rolling.
Every 3 years, an ancient ritual takes place here.
The SonarFeed is filmed live each week at the Berliner Pub in beautiful downtown Renton. As a live broadcast, the SonarFeed is uncensored and may not be suitable for all audiences.
Hello, boys and girls.
Hey, hey.
We are live.
Live at the Berliner Pub.
SonarFeed, episode number 12.
12.
1-2 now.
You know what that means? 3 fucking months with us.
Yeah, 3 months.
How do you guys put up with this?
I'm not sure, but
Cheers. Let's say cheers to a nice even dozen.
A dozen. The dozen in the bank, so to speak.
Double honey badger.
Ah, yes.
Yeah. So
That's the taste of success.
it is.
It tastes
Success.
wonderful.
It's all relative.
No, I like the honey badger.
It's all relative.
So thank you all for joining us this fine, wonderful Monday evening. We are all suffering from or getting over the effects of 3 absolutely wonderful days at the Renton Oktoberfest,
Spectacular.
which we'll talk a little bit more about as the evening progresses.
Yes.
But so as is usual here on the SonarFeed, we'd like to do is say, Adam, how are you today?
Well, once upon a time I was falling in love, but now I'm only falling apart. But it's for a good reason.
It's very fitting, actually.
It's fitting. Lee's laughing at me. I can see him way over there out of the corner of my eye. But we had a great, it was a fun week. I mean, this is what it looks like when you spend 3 days drinking morning, noon, and night.
Yep.
And German folk bands and tall Amazonian.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know. Where did I hear about this?
We have no
Did it
no
really
evidence
happen?
of you.
No evidence.
Anyway, we will talk some Sounders, but I'm fantastic, and I couldn't be happier to be here. Lee, how have you been the last few days, my friend?
I'm actually doing relatively well for going through Hell Week and then going into overexciting weekend.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's right.
I didn't realize it until somebody told me I didn't get home until 3:30 in the morning on Saturday morning.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, was it really that late?
He always means to be home by midnight, but he always gets home around 4.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hey, I don't know how it happens all the time, but it does.
It does.
Holy Moses was dream.
But it was a great day. We kind of celebrated your birthday a little bit, which was nice.
A little bit extra, yeah.
And then overall, the Renton Oktoberfest was outstanding. So
Great people, great food, great times.
I did happen to see some of your gifts. You posted a few pics of some of the things that you
didn't see the dildo, did you?
No, because
Oh,
see, if I did, that would have changed what I was going to say. What my favorite gift of yours is, because I
what
was going
was
to
it?
ask you what your favorite gift was, but I'm just going to tell you what my favorite gift to you was.
What?
The bell, far and away.
The bell was pretty.
Okay, now explain the bell to me.
Yeah.
I saw the bell, but I didn't understand.
I made some
So-
assumptions.
So
Wow.
there's,
I did too, but
it's not because I'm Tinkerbell.
No,
no,
that
that's
wasn't
not
it.
what I was thinking. Go ahead, though.
Wow, okay.
Keep going.
So in a motorcycling community, there's a tradition of having
Forget it.
bells
No, just kidding.
on your motorcycle. They ward off evil spirits or gremlins. And you can't buy yourself a bell. A bell has to be given from somebody that you love and care about.
Yeah.
And Tom and Karen, who Aaron met about 14 times,
At least.
they were nice enough to get me a bell for my motorcycle. So,
Nice.
yeah, I'm pretty excited about it.
Well,
that's awesome.
This is a long intro, and if you don't mind me poking a little fun, when were motorcycles invented?
1903.
And so they still believed in gremlins and shit like that back then?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just wondering.
People still believe
Did
it
you not hear
today.
about my almost life-ending tragic bike accident last
Let's
year?
do that in the post show.
Okay.
I want to hear about how you were so close
no.
to sweet death.
I was.
What was your sweet death? Let's hear the death sweet accident story.
No, post-show.
Push up.
Post-show.
That's for post.
All right.
Sorry, kids.
Okay, so with that said, what we're going to do tonight is we're going to talk about the usual suspects. We're going to go back and do a little bit of the weekend review. It was a interesting week. I think there was a full moon, so non-Sounders related. It was a very interesting week, as you alluded to.
Yep.
The weekend was great, but then the game itself was rough for Vancouver. It wasn't the result we wanted or needed or thought we should have gotten. We're going to talk a little bit about the Adrian vote, the Scarf vote. And of course, the Cascadia this week again. Here we are at the last game for us. There's 2 more Cascadia matches left in total.
And all the implications of those games.
Exactly.
Yep.
Most likely, we're going to end a little bit on kind of what we used to do at the beginning of SonarFeed as well. We're going to talk a little bit about music and other interests here. We had a few things come up on that this week as well, which were interesting. So that's kind of what's coming up right now.
We're monitoring the tweets, and so if you guys have questions or want to heckle us, please do.
Absolutely. And if you're listening to this after the fact, don't forget you can always call in, or you guys right now, 425-390-4365.
Yes.
To ask questions, to heckle, or throughout the week. Feel free to just put a comment out there, and we'll be happy to talk about it.
Yeah, and if you want to request Sonar swag, you'll probably have to do something for it though. If you just ask for it, you usually don't get it. Yep. I'll just tell you that right now.
Perfect. So again, we got to give a big shout out to David Thorson Studios. You can find him on Facebook. He's helping with the lights. I think we look as good as the 3 of us are possibly ever going to look.
True story.
It is a true story. And I'm going hatless tonight to show you that even a bald 39-year-old guy can look good.
Yeah. Hey, you putting fresh balls in your head?
Everywhere.
We need to get them to sponsor us.
I don't look like this because I don't use fresh balls in every part of my body.
So then, rats.com, rats.org. How about that? Don't go to rats.com unless you want something really funny. Don't go there.
It's one of the worst sites on the Webernets.
I thought it was pretty funny myself, but it's not ours.
Okay, it's the best. It's
rats.org. We're doing the Jingle Bell Run in a couple months. Feel free to join us.
That's
We'd love
I have to sign up for that. I'm going to walk it. So it's called the run, but come walk with me.
5K run walk.
That's a slash walk.
Yeah, I do kind of like a double walk. I do a double time walk. Thanks, there goes Dave. Dave's heading out. He trusts us with his lighting. That's how trustworthy we are.
Yep.
And if you guys need photography done, he's the one to go to for sure.
I totally agree.
He's the real deal. It's not an iPhone and a
no, that's what we bring.
Yeah, he's got the real deal.
Sonarcast.com. We've been talking about this. Obviously, we've been so wrapped up in Oktoberfest for the last 2 weeks that we haven't done a lot on there.
We haven't.
That's going to change again as we go back into everything. So thanks for your patience. Still getting people coming every day.
Can I interject something? Yeah. If you guys have been following along and watching the development of Oktoberfest and the commercials and all the fun we had, we were doing our part to help our little part to help the Berliner pull that off, and the Berliner did the vast majority of the work. But the city of Renton actually came together and had a really neat thing go on, and we all put our little part in, and it was really fun. It's cool. It's gratifying.
And us as a podcast actually might get a lot more out of it than we really thought.
Right. Yes, yeah, we met a lot of neat people there.
Yeah.
Like they might keep us on an extra week.
Yeah.
Well, at least 1 week, maybe 2. But it was great because we did. Since we're on that topic, just talking about Oktoberfest.
Yeah.
Actually, no. Hold on 1 second. King 5 Best Local Podcast. I believe everybody in the chat room has voted already, but if you haven't, go to the King 5. Vote for us on the podcast.
Best of Washington.
Best of Western Washington.
We'll tweet it out probably after the show with the links and everything. But if you just Google search Best of Washington, Best Podcast, you'll find us if you really care, and we appreciate it.
Absolutely. So give me 1 second. We'll be right back.
Alright, all you cool cats and kittens out there, the SonarFeed is tracking back. This is The Week in Review.
They're telling us to buck.
So, we're back. The week that was. I want to start with the Oktoberfest since we were just talking about that. Right. We'll talk about that briefly and then we'll move on.
Okay.
The week that was Oktoberfest, again, we shot some commercials. If you go to our YouTube page, on SonarFeed, SonarFeed YouTube, that has all the commercials on there. We had about 800 hits on those in the last week.
We're really proud of those.
Yeah, I mean, considering it was a bunch of amateurs that put it together, we had a wonderful brass bit help us edit them. And at Oktoberfest, it was great to have like our shirts on and our banner up, which you can't see in the background right now, but we'll get a picture of that up later.
Yeah.
And we got to talk to the local people from Renton, both other business owners, people from the
Chamber of
Commerce, and residents who all said that they had seen it and they liked it. And the Renton Oktoberfest Facebook page was outstanding.
Yeah.
The reactions, we've posted pictures from day 1. We still have day 2 and day 3 to finish up. and the videos will go up in the next week or so. But you can see high def. You'll be able to see what we experienced on this, and it was wonderful. So hopefully we're going to talk about it a little longer.
Slightly out of focus.
Some of them are.
Well, you'll know why if they are.
Some of them are.
And if
because of liters of beer.
Yeah, if they are posted out of focus, you'll know that they're so good they have to be posted anyway, even though they are out of focus.
Exactly.
Please understand that. What did he say? How many kegs? I don't even know if we can give. I don't even know if we should give the number out, but it was a lot.
Just over 100.
Like how many liters of beer? It was like crazy amount.
4,000
Something
liters.
crazy.
It was ridiculous. But yeah, so it was great, and everyone was responsible. We didn't drive. We chose to park our cars here and be smart. Again, it was a wonderful event, though.
Yeah, I think the thing that said it all, I can't remember if it was one of you guys that said it, but the first 2 days, everyone's drinking lots of beer at Oktoberfest. It's a big part of Oktoberfest is having some beer.
Sure.
The most notable thing one person said was they didn't see one woman leave crying. There were no fights.
I didn't see a fight. I didn't
not
see
a thing. No words.
Not one woman was crying?
Well, a man was.
You cried?
Yeah.
Was Caitlin there?
That little bottle, that was one-shot bottles of Undertaker stuff.
Oh, Jesus.
I think that I cried when
Underbird.
Well, I call it the Undertaker.
Yeah. It was really good. If you've never tried Underbird, go try it. It's wonderful.
It's the best.
Wonderful. Let us tell you, it's made in Germany, and it tastes just like Jaeger with hemlock.
It's like a black licorice taste. So,
with hemlock.
We had to take 3 doses of it just to build up an immunity so we could survive.
It was, oh my God, it was brutal.
What we didn't know is after you take your first shot is you have to have 2 more to survive it.
Exactly.
But I will tell you.
We did it each day, though.
We did, and I'll tell you what, I really did. I'm tired because of all the stuff we've done, but I was never hungover the entire weekend.
No,
I felt great.
That was probably the Underbird.
Yep. All right. So with that said, now we're going to segue right into the Vancouver game because we actually were over at Oktoberfest all afternoon. We did a little bit of a broadcast that was very short and full of drunk people that I know joining us, and a train wreck at worst.
And also the internet. There's, I love my city, but the internet connection there, we couldn't even get the lowest rate out. So probably if anyone even tuned in.
SonarFeed to the rescue.
Yeah.
The SonarFeed iPhone number 2 that's broadcast a live event.
That would be the iPhone 5. So yeah, it was the rebirth of the original SonarFeed, so to speak.
It was.
Everything ran through. You hooked up to the LTE and ran everything through it, and it
ran fine.
It ran fine.
Went great. The actual show itself was a little bit of an aborted mess, but
yeah, I kind of rage quit, but I was drinking.
Yeah, we're gonna work on your rage quits.
Yeah. All right, I'm cool. I'm good with criticism.
Okay, good. I'm glad you are.
All right.
Okay, so let's.
I have some for you too.
We're gonna change the show up. We're going into all Adam criticism.
Hit me.
No, I'm kidding.
I just had a double honey badger. I can take anything.
Let's talk about the game. I had my kids here and my wife here, so the first half
and it was packed.
It was packed.
This place was. It was the most packed I've seen a Sounders game.
This is an official Sounders game.
And unfortunately, we're a little biased because we weren't here for the Open Cup final.
Yeah.
Right.
So we have no recollection of that game.
Yeah, we were at it.
Oh, yeah.
And it was heartbreaking. We don't want to revisit that.
From what I saw in the picture-wise, it was darn close to that.
Yeah,
in my mind, that day didn't exist at all.
If you've been here for Happy Hans on a Saturday night or Sunday night, it was like that.
Yeah.
Times 10.
Times 10.
Actually, in Happy Hans's band's defense, I'll tell you, I was not a fan of that type of music, and if I didn't know I could take it for more than 20 minutes, I took it for like 5 hours.
You take it for longer than that normally, sir.
Okay, so let's talk about the game.
My back's hurting. I can't do that tonight.
Let's talk about the game. Adam, what are your thoughts on the game?
Well, the game was, we came in, I was shocked. I had to sit on the bench in the way back, not by choice. It was just too packed. But the game, it was one of those games to me that it felt like we were going to win it. I think when we go back to the prediction, I think most all of us predicted we were going to win easily or handily or win. But the most I can say about it is I got fixated on a player, and it was the Honey Badger. I love this guy. He turns directions so quickly. Everyone knows this. He did so well. We were just unlucky, and it was a tough one to draw 0-0 when we know we can score. Eddie Johnson's back. We had full power up front. That's the toughest part for me. It was 0-0, the draw. If it was 3-3, different.
Yeah. Brad Evans missed that one pass from Morrow, which was absolutely phenomenal. It was gorgeous.
Yeah. Well, I read the internet today a little bit.
I didn't at all.
And there was a lot of talk about the Morrow / Brad Evans miss, and a lot of people have actually gone out and said that the miss was not Brad's fault. It was Morrow's touch was a little heavy on him.
I didn't see that. Yeah.
So Of course, the wonderful Lickett has a has a GIF out there.
I did see the GIF. Yeah,
Lickett P on Twitter.
So I mean, it was a beautiful. It was a little bit of just bad luck, I think.
Yeah.
A little too heavy. A little bit out of position.
And Brad Evans doesn't play forward, but that's one of the things. There's no excuse for that if you're an Eddie Johnson or Freddie Montero. But maybe Evans, if that's the criticism that it was too heavy to touch. But the most forwards are just like, get it near me somewhere, I'll get it in.
Well, that's what a lot of people are saying is even an elite striker was going to miss that ball. Okay. That's the word on the street.
I'm glad I wasn't on those tweets. I disagree. I think an elite striker would have got it in.
Yeah,
I think Ianni would have touched it in.
Okay.
Ooh, that's going a little far, perhaps.
Look, I would love to bash Brad Evans. I'm not his biggest fan.
It's true.
I mean, if I can find a way to cut, I will cut.
There's about 4 people that are bigger fans than you, but you're close to it, but you're not his biggest.
His mom, his dad, his sister.
You guys are awful.
Lee loves Evans.
Well, and Jeff Park had a hell of a game defending. I mean, there was that.
Right.
So we.
Oh man, yeah.
We come out of this still in second place on the goals allowed per game. Kansas City has let in 25 goals in 31 games or 32 games, and we've let in 30 and 31.
Right.
So we're the second least number of goals allowed.
Oh, that's good
in the league. So the funny part is our defense has been hounded, and we've trashed them, and we've talked about it. Everyone.
Well, at the beginning, yeah.
But
it's true.
Still, the defense, another shutout. Wonderful that Michael Sperning, that save in the 92nd minute or 93rd minute. That was.
And then the lucky roll by they just kind of dribbled through. And I'm sure everyone watched the same game we did, but they showed after the match as they were walking the final whistle. Even Sperning was laughing and stuck his tongue out because he knew it was like that could have went anyway.
Yeah, no, totally. So for the prediction wise, we said Adam and Lee both said 3-1. So by your logic last week, I win.
Oh yeah, you win.
I was the closest.
You were
at
closest.
2-0. I was the closest.
I have an expletive by mine that I added after the fact.
Just the word fuck?
Yeah.
I predicted 3-1, which was way off.
Yeah. So T. Peter 100 here in the chat room says Park was Mr. Take a Chance and Win. Great tackles in the box. Yeah. And you're absolutely right. I mean that was very, very good to see that from him.
It was good. It's just frustrating still. The bottom line is a lot of firepower that we have up front. Everyone's supposed, all our guys, our main men, so to speak, up front. And whose fault was it? Who knows? But we just didn't have any chances. It is unlucky.
It happens.
Yeah.
Which I thought was really interesting because we're coming off of a week where everybody should have been fairly well rested.
Yeah.
I mean, Portland away, it's an easy bus trip. Vancouver away, easy bus trip.
Yep.
The guys were able to be here with their families. We saw them at the reserve game.
Yep.
Yeah, it's almost too bad we didn't have a midweek CONCACAF match. Someone to kick ass on.
Yeah. I need to resurrect my my games between wins spreadsheet that I have ignored lately. Because there is something to that. I know that there was an announcement today from the Sounders that said something along the lines that we actually are doing really well in games that we have a 6-day window between. But the guys play differently when there's that midweek game. It just feels like it's different.
I agree. It's like they've been practicing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't know. I mean, we all know they go to practice, and I guess we could talk to the guys at Sounder at Heart or maybe Josh Mayer or something like that to find out really what they're doing at practice, but I don't think that's our position to say as fans. I mean, we're drunk people. We don't talk analytics like that.
No.
Yeah, and I wouldn't know the nuance anyway in practice on like how much they've done differently, or if they were resting a little bit but practicing, or light practice.
Sure.
I did read today that very few things I read was that Siggy gave him yesterday and today off. It did sound like Weber and Johnson trained today, but the rest of the team had took the day off. And because he wanted them to get their mind fresh and let them come back tomorrow and get ready for Sunday.
Apparently they haven't seen the movie Miracle, have they? It's a good thing.
Sorry, I just had a double. It took me a little while longer to get that one.
Again. Tweet. Again. Tweet.
So
again.
Yes.
Another comment in the chat room here is that yes, we did indeed have a sub left. Zekwani came on for Morrow and Rose came on for Evans. and we had one sub left at the end of the game. So we could have put on a Mario.
Would it have changed anything?
I don't know.
That's the question.
That's the great.
I mean, what minute did Zach
Mike came at 70 and Rose in 74?
So we probably could have put somebody in the 81st or 82nd.
Right, you could. I mean, because Mario, I'm sorry, I like Mario a lot.
Maybe just like his hair. I just like his hair.
I do like his hair.
What is wrong with you?
I like hair. Like Johansson, I didn't really even see very much on Saturday, so I didn't really pay attention.
But he didn't let a goal in though.
What?
He didn't F up enough to let a goal in.
True. Or we all would have known where he was.
Yeah.
He did steam a few times down that right line, which he does well in my mind. He comes forward well, but when he gets back, you wouldn't know he was a defender.
Even though I was drinking heavily, I will tell you, the biggest impression he left on me was seeing him coming off of defensive runs. He was making runs back and into the inside.
Right.
Back into sparing, which is good.
Right.
And then that gave Jeff Park. They were overlapping pretty well with Jeff Park, which was a little bit different than I'm used to seeing them.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, I've been trying to see them do that the last couple of games,
Right.
and they hadn't been successful.
And Park was a wall when those things got into him.
Yeah.
When they were funneled to him, he was Stonewall Jackson.
Sure.
He battled, and I was really impressed with him.
Yeah, I agree. And I like Park.
And then the other thing on the other side, going forward on offense again, Zach Wani, I was really impressed. Someone posted the Adidas thing where they tracked the speed, burst speed or top speed.
Yeah,
sure. And he had a burst speed of nearly 21 miles per hour 2 weeks ago. Well, a week and a day ago, a week and 2 days ago. And he with that kind of speed, they need to be. You see him starting to make runs, but if you don't get the ball to the guy, and it just wasn't happening. You didn't see him get that full head of steam up and embarrass people with that speed. So.
Yep. Okay, so any other thoughts on the Vancouver game?
No. I would like to talk about the standings for MLS before we jump into, because it does kind of reflect a little bit of the Vancouver game.
Yeah.
So all of us been a little tired this weekend. We didn't really catch up on all the stuff we should have for the podcast.
No.
We don't apologize for that.
No, we're not apologizing. We're just being honest.
No,
we're honest.
Drink more beer, but not you. But I'm gonna drink more beer.
But I was just
brutally honest. That's all.
I was just looking at the standings. West Coast is playing all West Coast primarily for the rest of the season.
Yeah, right.
East Coast for East Coast.
Right.
We have gone from the West Coast dominating in points to literally Vancouver has a chance to clinch with 39 points.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And how many is less than that than the Sounders? That's like 10 plus.
points less.
Yeah, 10 points.
less.
Yeah. So we're still.
We have a game in hand still.
We have a game in hand, which would put us in second place with win out.
Yeah.
3 wins and 2 draws less than us, and they have a chance to make the playoffs and clinch.
Yeah.
But here's what's scary. Houston's got 49 points. DC United's up to 51 after kicking the crap out of Portland this weekend. But we're not going to talk about that.
No.
Chicago's got 53 points with the Flacco that's just been doing fairly successful.
Yeah. Who got called up to Uruguay?
Who got called up for Uruguay?
Not this week, but the next week.
Next week, yeah.
Or a week after, I mean.
Terry Henry assisted on 3 goals this weekend, I believe.
Did that quadruple his yearly output?
I don't know, but he got his dick sucked.
He is phenomenal.
No, he's good.
And then Sporting Kansas City is currently 1 game out from Supporter Shield.
Yep.
How you doing, brother?
Hey,
Dennis.
Hey, here's the man right here. This is Oktoberfest man right here.
Oktoberfest doesn't happen without him.
I thought you were going to be sleeping today.
I got him at 4 in the morning last night.
Oh my God.
I came here to celebrate.
Say you're welcome to everybody for putting on that great show.
You're welcome. Guys, thank you for all the support. Thanks for these guys for being a part of that.
We were happy to be.
We loved it. We were so happy.
Yeah, we're all tired, but we're happy.
We're all tired.
Yeah. We'll celebrate in a few weeks here.
When we all catch up.
Yeah, exactly.
We need to catch our breath.
Great.
Yeah, I'm good. I'll be all right. Thanks.
Good.
Good to see you, man. All right.
Thanks, Dennis.
See you, Dennis.
All right.
Oh,
Yep.
Cool.
So, yep. That was awesome. I love
Dennis,
it.
It was great.
The co-proprietor of the.
So anyway, I just wanted to bring up the stats for MLS for those
Yeah.
who didn't know where everybody's sitting. It's amazing to watch how the East Coast has been fairly dominated against by the West Coast teams, and how quickly they've gained points by going back and playing in their league.
Right.
So, I hate this scheduling system. I hate it.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of myself.
I was open-minded, but I'm not anymore. I don't
want
like
another team in so we can go back to balanced schedules.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want New York 2, though.
You mean
I don't want New York 2, personally.
I don't. At this point, I would rather have New York 2 in a balanced schedule than no New York 2 in an unbalanced schedule.
You mean so we're they're divided here, but when David Beckham buys the New York Cosmos and they come into the MLS as Victor the Predictor and everyone else knows is going to happen, we'll be back to our balanced schedule.
And I guess, I mean, at the end of the day, it's fine. Like I said, I would like the balanced schedule as well.
Sure.
I just, New York too, I
don't like it either.
No, I don't like it either.
I'm predicting it. I don't like it.
I'm 100% against New York too. I'm against New York too.
How about Atlanta?
Everybody who knows, everybody
Florida,
who knows
anywhere.
knows me well, knows how much I hate the city of New York.
Yeah.
I just want to take the 5 boroughs. I want to cut it off the entire state of New York, and I want to float it out into the ocean and sink it like Atlantis.
Yeah.
I hate it.
It could become a reef for fish.
I hate it.
Yes.
I know he doesn't agree with me.
No, I mean, that's funny. I didn't know you had such a strong feeling.
No.
Lee basically, in a nutshell, wants to turn the 5 boroughs into a marine preserve. This is what he would like to do.
Yes, and I'm sorry if I offend anybody from New York
Not
on
me.
that.
No, you're fine. Not me.
growing up on the East Coast, growing up in D.C.
Okay, you grew up in D.C.
I am going
Now it
between
makes
D.C. and
sense.
Boston, where my family lives. I used to always have to drive through that stupid piss-smelling town with all those freaking God. Oh, now I'm all worked up.
So let's.
Here comes the energy coming back up.
Speaking of piss-smelling towns,
Oh, nice segue.
let's go into Aces for some silly reason. I want to talk about this a little bit. This was a big, not big.
Piss-smelling town?
It's a piss-smelling supporters group.
See how I did that for you? See how I did
Any
that?
club except Seattle, right?
Aces, yeah.
I remember when I first, looked at what ECS was, because again, as we all know, in 2008 is when or 7 was when I started really looking at it, and then 9 is when I became a real true supporter.
Right.
As I wear my ECS, scarf here.
Mine's in that car.
It's, Aces is,
They're a bunch of aces.
They are a bunch of aces.
Ace holes.
Ace holes.
But what I don't like is supposedly, and again, there's no proof that I've seen yet, no definitive proof. It's all about one guy's comments on Twitter that a banner at the Vancouver game for Aces was stolen by a Seattle supporter guy.
Right.
Or woman, I don't know who it was.
And it only made things worse. No, just kidding.
Well, but then all of a sudden today it was this commentary on Twitter, and it's just like I said, I wasn't online very much today, but it just rubbed me the wrong way. Because my thing is, and I'll let you guys finish, is that I don't like the idea that someone stole a banner. Stealing scarves, stealing banners, doing stupid stuff like that pisses me off.
Punching women.
Punching
women.
Yeah. I mean, I brought my daughter and her friends to a game a few weeks ago against San Jose, and I was kind of,
Juggling
debating
nuts?
that one because, not juggling nuts. Because of the fact that there are supporter groups, like the 1901 Ultras, that are not known to be very friendly, and I don't like that. I'm all for a 90-minute...
1906.
I'm all for a 90-minute, I hate you, you hate me, but
You
not...
can scream louder.
Fine.
Yeah.
But to go into physical violence, to steal stuff...
Damage property, steal stuff.
I don't get that. So
kick women, I agree.
That to me was the bit why I wanted to bring this up tonight, was that I have a hard time with that. I want to be friends or friendly with, except for 90 minutes or 120 minutes or how many times, multiple times a year, with the supporter group and fans from other clubs.
Yeah.
I want to have an intellectual dialogue. I want to have that discussions with them.
Yeah,
and then I want to go out and
culture.
have a beer and say, you guys fucking suck. I
Right.
hate Leonard,
Right.
whatever. But then I want to be able to also then say, okay, now I see your point. I get why you guys like him so much.
Right, because he's not on our team, and we don't have a guy that gets away with the same folly.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, here's my thing.
Here's a bad example because I don't really like him at all, man.
Yeah, I know.
But
No, he was.
Yeah.
Most hated.
Honestly, I disagree with the whole stealing thing too. I think it's wrong. You should never steal from anybody.
Anything.
I mean,
Yeah.
But here's my thing. If it was the 107th, if it was the Southsiders, if it was the 1906 Black Army,
Yep.
if it was Angels Brigade, if it's any other supporter group, I would be furious and just completely denounce whoever did it.
Like,
the fact is,
you'd feel New Yorkish about it.
I would.
Yes.
The fact is Aces has absolutely no allegiance to anybody except for hating Seattle. Now that to me is just.
They should be prosecuted under the hate crime
No,
act.
it shouldn't be. You can have your own beliefs, but to sit
Not
there
that one.
and you can't have it. You have to get 18 other teams to
Right.
beat up on one.
How poor do you have to be to have that outlook and put energy into that?
Exactly. Why don't you put a positive spin on something?
Poor
so
taste.
it couldn't happen to a bunch of better guys, as far
Right.
as I'm concerned. But it's still wrong. If one of our guys did it, I'm going to be pissed.
Yeah,
I'm going to be pissed.
I'll make this pledge. If I find it, whoever did it, I will return it to the rightful owner.
Yep.
If that rightful owner will step forward and admit to owning it.
I might have to.
Well, there is a guy. I can tell you who is on Twitter. So.
But anyway, that's how I feel about it. I mean, if you can't put any time or effort in supporting a team, you're wasting everybody's time by hurting the league.
Right.
Exactly. Because again, I'm all for the hatred, the back and forth, everything else, but not for something like that. That goes over a line for me.
Right.
So, all right, let's move on. Let's go off that. Let's talk about the little bit of democracy in sports, right? I believe that's what our friends over at Sound Our Heart call it.
That is, yeah.
They do a wonderful
Ironically,
job.
flying in the face of anyone but Seattle type mentality.
Right.
We're doing the things right here, not just.
It was interesting to look at some of the retweets, because I've actually unfollowed a lot of the national guys on Twitter because they get, especially some of the MLS soccer.com guys. I will not click on a link if I know it's written by the specific person whose initials are JF. I just can't read it anymore. Right. Every single one of them is all about, hey, I'm going to poke Seattle, so they react.
Yeah. Fucking hate Ives.
Well, no, it was Knives actually.
I know, not this time, but I know.
I mean, if you want bees to come out and sting you, what's the biggest nest to hit?
Sure, you do Seattle.
It's easy.
But that's a cheap way of getting viewers, in my opinion.
Sure. It's easy.
I mean, even though we do the same thing.
Sure.
It's like professional wrestling. You know, the bad guy's going to pick up the folding chair and slap you across the back.
I mean, I'll be more than happy to poke at Seattle if it gets us more viewers.
Should we start doing that then? Next week, new format on the show.
Yep. We're switching our allegiances.
So this week, we have the Scarf Vote, which ends tomorrow, if I recall correctly. I think it's tomorrow night.
Yeah, I think so. The second, I think you're right.
Quite a few votes out there already. We had our poll.
We had our own straw poll.
By our estimation, the Sounders blue with stripes is going to win. Which was the option number 1 on the list originally when it first came out.
Yeah. Yes.
I voted for that one actually because I had a family vote, and I let the family choose.
That's fine. You guys, hey, democracy in sports.
Which one did you like?
I like the slate one, number 4.
Because that 4 was my second choice, or my first choice, but the family's second choice.
And I think the scarf in slate, because we don't wear slate that often.
Right.
We only wear it in warm-ups.
This year we had the black, and I like the darker colors in general, so I wanted that.
I thought this year's was so point compared to last year's with the white.
Yeah.
I thought this year's was kind of
Yeah.
Right.
Adam?
I like the one with the Cascadia overtones.
Number 3 on the
list. But because of the anyone except Seattle type thing, I'd probably go back and change my vote. Can you? I don't think you can.
No, you can't. I don't think
so. But
I mean, there's the thing. Cascadia is always going to outrule Aces. I mean, Aces is a small subgroup of people.
You've just changed my mind again. I'm glad I voted for it then.
Good.
That was easy.
You'll have sex with me later.
Yes.
Good.
That was decided before we started the show, though, so that's a whole other story.
I threw my back out a little bit, though, so I might not be very active.
You're welcome.
Am I the only one who thinks that the fact that they're starting the Adrian vote on Sunday is an interesting day to start the vote?
Yes.
No, actually, I don't.
You don't think so?
No, because it's about the same time they want our damn money.
Yeah. Well, they want our money right now. We've already gotten the renewal stuff.
Yeah.
They want our money by next week, I think.
The deposit.
Yeah. Well, I think, Seattle they're internet savvy.
Yeah.
I think they know more people are probably apt to be home to do that type of thing, and maybe the clicks will come through more then.
Well, there's 2 ways to look at this. Do you get the anger from losing a Portland, losing the Cascadia Cup, or do you get the anger from the playoffs, not getting knocked out in the first round?
That's why I'm bringing it up.
Or do you get the anger from not winning the Open Cup, or do you get the anger from having a crappy, just dying off at the end of the season?
Right.
I mean, it can go so many ways. If I remember correctly, back in January, some people were on the Adrian out banner.
Adam.
No.
Yes?
That. I'm a Hanauer man.
Hey.
I want to write his book.
Not in January.
No, it's more like March.
Yeah,
March, April, May. Yeah.
Fuck you guys. You're trying to get me to rage quit.
Not you.
Okay.
Dumbass.
You were on the out?
Dude, okay, hold on. Yes, I tweeted Adrian out back in March.
As a joke.
April. It was 95% a joke.
Okay.
I was mad about the trade, as we all know. And
now I see where this is going.
And when they came out and they had buttons, right? This isn't the actual button, but they had buttons that said, these are the Oktoberfest buttons that are stuck together now.
But they had Adrian out button.
Adrian in.
Or Adrian in button.
Yeah.
That's right.
I was kind of like, Really?
That was right after that was opening day.
That was after EJ got hurt in the first game against Santos, and we got our asses kicked in that one. It was more of a joke that I was thinking that as a joke I might do that.
Right.
But then, obviously, now there are still people who do think that Adrian should be out, which I don't understand that one.
I was a joke.
I'll tell you. I mean,
I will tell you why.
5% of it was kind of like semi-serious because I was upset. I was angry.
Not that I want to give any promotion to another blog or a podcast. Sounder at Heart actually had a really good,
awesome article today.
Had an awesome article about the reasons why.
Yeah.
And he said flat out there, it's like I'm voting Adrian in,
yes,
but I can understand why people would vote him out.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, the first one is losing out every year since 2009 in the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah.
That to me is very discouraging.
Yes.
Right.
Because we haven't made a progressive leap.
Yeah.
Since it's been the same thing every year. Yes, we've won 3 Open Cups.
Yep.
We haven't gone any further than 3 Open Cups. Okay.
Still a huge thing though.
It is. Don't get me wrong, but hear me out. And then the last one is we barely progressed further and further every year in Champions League.
Yeah.
So there isn't much to hang your hat on. Yes, there is as a new franchise. You're right. There's totally, but to be able to weigh those and sit there and say, you can see why people would be very adamant either way on this. Now, me, I am voting Adrian in.
I am too.
I've
already done it.
I think his.
No, you haven't.
I know.
I was gonna say, wait a minute. Did you go in the future and vote and come back?
I preset everything to
Okay,
roll
good.
off at
Nice.
12:01, like the iPhone order.
I think that he's done a good job as far as my personal opinion is the trades. The one thing that I can't even remember who wrote it this morning. It wasn't Dave or Jeremiah.
AGTK.
AGTK. AGTK. Whatever.
Amazing article.
The piece of that article that made the most sense for me, if I was going to vote Adrian out, would be the shitty DP calls we've had since 2009.
Yeah.
I mean, he brought it up. Bloomberg, Blaze.
Well,
But then a major turnaround.
Well, and Flacco's been up and down.
Flacco was up and down.
Well, yeah.
Montero and Morrow did not come in as DPs.
Right.
They're DPs
Right
later.
now,
And
right.
so he brings all this up in the article.
Yeah.
It's dangerous. That's treading dangerous territory, though. I mean, it's a good argument. I understand.
Have you read it yet?
Yeah, I have.
Okay.
But I just want to throw out there some blunting. It's absolutely true. People that are short-sighted or
Sure.
I could see why someone could think that way.
Well, and they said tomorrow morning they're going to have the Adrian in recap, which will be good. I'm looking forward to reading that one tomorrow morning because to me there is that level of here are some great reasons why. I mean, you drove 35 hours to watch lose 0-3 in the biggest game of our history, or what I will call at that time.
Right.
And then I was in Germany, or actually it was Italy, listening to it.
Yeah.
Flew home, had that great game against, but we put ourselves so far in deep that it hurt. Now, what I do like also that he brought up, this is one of those things that to me, I would rather have a balanced team that lets us compete in the Open Cup, the CCL, and the MLS.
I want to compete in everything.
Versus maybe like the two really, really awesome players, and then
Sure.
That's I feel that to me, I'm actually impressed with.
No, I get you.
When you look at our injury, and you talked about injury, when you look at who's been injured, yeah, some people are injury prone.
Sure.
But we have enough depth to
deep.
support around that.
Yes. Yeah.
Now going from an Eddie to a Sammy is a big deal.
Hello, Kareem.
Hey, Kareem, welcome in, man.
Thanks for
going
tuning
from
in.
an Eddie to a Sammy, even though I love Sammy in his own way, it's a big drop.
Sure.
in quality.
Sure. No, I agree.
So,
I mean, but I really did like the fact that it was a very pointed and clear article. I thought it was well written. I thought the points, me being somebody who already has made my decision.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not. I'm not talking. You know, this is politics and sports. This isn't politics of my taxes.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, the other thing to take into account when we do compete in every competition that we're in. I mean, we're in it, and that's a lot of extra games, and that's revenue for the team.
Now here's a great question.
If we don't turn the fucking burners around, we're not going to be next year.
Right. No, you're right.
Well, you're actually right. Well, now here's a great question from T. Peter 100 again. Not a technical soccer business fan here, but if we had these great players that we laud each week on skill and prowess on the field, yet haven't gotten past the first round, why is that the GM's fault?
Oh no, it's not. It's execution. It's not even coaching.
So there's a one way to look at this is yes, it's execution. I mean, we can't. They're giving us the option to vote somebody off because we're dissatisfied. They're not giving us an option to vote the head coach off,
right.
or the general manager who runs the day-to-day operations of the team. He's the one that's making the big decisions.
So basically, we've changed democracy. We've got democracy in sports, but it's basically the same as Major League Baseball. When a whole baseball team of 1 million players doesn't get it done, they fire the head coach.
Similar but different, yeah.
But if they could, it'd be nice to pick and choose and cherry pick who, and that would be awesome.
The thing is you can sit there and go, well, who made the ultimate decision on those hiring decisions? It was the GM.
Sure. Right.
And that's where they're coming from.
But okay, if we bumped it down a notch, and I agree with you, but like if Ziggy's head were on the chopping block, so to speak, what do you think? Would there be anyone for Ziggy out?
I think there will be people out.
But for who though? Like when Adrian Hanauer's out, who becomes front office?
Well, I think that's the interesting part here.
Right.
Let's not speculate. I mean, I don't think he's going to be voted out.
No.
I
don't think so either.
I mean, but
would be either.
But I think it's an open and honest discussion that maybe Adrian needs to hear.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Which is that's why it's such a great article from that perspective. Right. Absolutely.
I mean, I'm not for one for firing people, but
no.
But
voting someone out.
No, I think you should hear both sides. I mean,
you're right.
The one thing I don't like about NFL franchises is I don't like ownership groups that sit there and say we're going to do things the way we want to.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's no democracy in sports, and I still have to watch. It still takes freaking 4.5 hours to play a 60-minute game.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's something I would change.
Well, I think, but there were some people who, like I said earlier, who are mocking this whole idea of having the democracy in sports. But then some of them had some good dialogue too about what happens what teams would, if you had this in some other cities, what teams would kick out the ownership or kick out the GM?
Sure.
Portland was mentioned repeatedly, obviously, because they've had some issues this year. New England was mentioned.
Sure.
And I think even Philly was mentioned. There's one opportunity there. So there's some interesting pieces there.
Philly, I totally get because of the whole Nowak thing.
Yeah,
that was pretty rough. Portland, I can't see you doing it.
No, well, I mean, they won't.
They want to.
They want to right now. Yeah.
I mean, but that is completely. That's the difference between an owner and a general manager.
Right.
Well, I think they would want to vote the owner out more than the general manager.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah. So.
Mr. Merritt Paulson. Somebody tweeted today something about I want to see Merritt Paulson run on the field and hug the ref or something like that. So that would be pretty funny. So. All right, so we're going to end our discussion, I think, on voting. Although, I got to say, if you're a season ticket holder, vote. Justicar from ECS.
Unless you don't know what the hell if you haven't watched a game or don't know what the hell you're talking about, don't vote.
No, but I would say even to vote.
No, everyone should vote. Everyone should always vote.
If you're a season ticket holder, exercise your right to vote. Exercise the option to vote. Get involved in it. Learn. Get educated.
Go to teach the Sounders.
Go to Seattle Times.
That reminds me.
Go everywhere.
When they announced this, it's going to be at the end of year meeting, right?
Yes, that's correct. December 12th.
I think this is going to be a perfect opportunity for SonarFeed to go live broadcast this event.
We're open to all options, anytime, anywhere.
We are absolutely all open.
If there are holes to be filled, SonarFeed will be there.
But the ECS folks have come out and supported Adrian, Gorilla.
I think Gorilla has too, yeah.
I mean, our little cream of the world.
I think Sounder Hard is actually staying neutral.
I haven't
except
seen
for Dave.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything on there specifically, but they are doing
their
own perspective.
Well, you know how journalists are; they try to stay neutral. So
we will be completely non-neutral and non-professional, as you have come to expect from us.
As always,
we will not change.
Okay. Anything else on the voting?
No.
Well, speaking of voting,
where do I get a ballot?
Kareem for president.
Online.
Oh, speaking of
eballot.com.
Eballot.com. Awesome.
Whatever.
That's right. We do have another election coming up.
Is he
Kareem.
Yeah.
Kareem's going for freshman class president.
Yeah, vote. Everyone, please get the word out. Vote at Kareem for U97
Wait,
for
will I
president.
get arrested if I go to vote?
Yes.
You're not in high school. You can't.
Oh.
He is in your prime demographic.
Can I get a mail-in ballot?
Do you have a pseudonym to vote under?
Can I take the SonarFeed van?
No. All right.
No.
Moving on. Portland.
Go Kareem. Good luck to you.
We have a little game this weekend against a team called Portland.
A big game against a little team called Portland.
Big game against a little team called from the Portland area.
Okay.
So this is one of our biggest games, obviously, from the Cascadia step.
Cascadia
Cup standpoint.
Cascadia Cup.
This also has direct relation on our playoff chances.
No,
I'm sorry, our playoff seeding.
Playoff seed.
How we get seeded in our playoffs. Right now we have a game in hand.
Yep.
And if we win this game, it jumps us back up to even with LA. But I think we're ahead on the first tiebreaker. So
we'd be above LA. We'd be out. We would be even with Real Salt Lake. No, a point behind. We'd be in third.
No, we'd be second.
I'll
bet you a drink. We'd be second.
All right, everyone's referring to their
tied
notes.
for second.
That's what I said. No, but we would jump ahead of Real Salt Lake on I think a goal differential. But anyways, we'll come back to that.
No, you're right. We would.
Yeah. Okay.
Unless they score 5
That's
goals.
a good thing you're not drinking. No, you don't have to drink, and he gets that's a
I'll blow
win-win.
you later.
Okay, good. That's good. So,
It's a win-win.
let's talk about the Portland then. We want to talk about it.
Scenarios.
All right, so Portland, you know what? As far as I'm concerned, this is a grudge match.
Yeah.
Portland has 1 game to win now for the rest of the season. They are sitting at 30 points with no games in hand.
Nothing else to play for except to anyone but Seattle mentality.
They have 2 games left to play, Seattle and Vancouver. And that is the only thing they're resting their merits on.
Right.
Yeah, if they were playing the Chivas or someone, it wouldn't be to them. It probably wouldn't be a big game, but it's gonna still it's gonna be huge.
2
for
of their
them.
last 3 games are against their 2 biggest rivals.
Right.
So they want the Cascadia Cup.
This is their MLS.
Yeah, it is.
Well,
yeah, this is the only game that matters to them right now.
Well, it's the only thing they can put in their trophy case.
Right.
Which is how many trophies
Well, it's pretty much empty.
I think it's
in modern era? Yes.
I think it looks like that.
Yeah, MLS era.
No. They do have 2 asterisks.
Right.
Cascadia Cups.
Okay, fine. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yes. But
They weren't in MLS.
now, okay, so let's talk the scenario real quick, and then we'll come back and talk a little bit about our predictions and how we think it's going to go.
All right.
So the scenario is, thanks to Lee here for grabbing this offline. In fact, I'll let you talk about it since you grabbed it.
All right, so there's the 4 ways that we can actually come out of this, okay?
Ground out
So-
these stats.
If Portland draws or wins against us, they win the
win.
cup outright.
And they take the cup home in front of 66,000 plus fans.
And that's not going to be a good sign.
No.
If Portland loses to Seattle and wins over Vancouver, they win on points.
And then the cup is delivered to them up in Vancouver as we got it last year in Vancouver.
Which is less painful
Yes.
for us if that's the scenario.
But
It
it
is.
still hurts
It's
a
still-
lot.
if
We
It
have to
hurts
give
a
it up.
lot.
It's the best place to do
It's
it.
taking the Band-Aid off quickly.
Yeah,
so to
yes,
speak.
it is.
Yes.
Number
If
3.
Portland loses to us, draws Vancouver, Seattle wins the cup on head-to-head. And then the last one is Portland loses to Seattle and Vancouver,
We win.
and us and George hang out for another year.
So basically,
come
there's
from behind.
There's 4 opportunities.
Yeah.
Now, where did you get this information from? 'Cause I have not seen anything like this today. Do you know where you got it from?
I do.
Where did you purloin
Where'd you
it
get it
from?
I'm
just kidding. I don't care.
I will credit this one to the Sounder Heart.
Okay.
This is a fan post.
This is a tacos and haircuts.
Yeah, it
Go
was
with this.
Yeah,
we
it was.
have these rats. He comes down here a
Yeah,
lot.
and it was a fan post that was placed up there.
Good.
Yes.
Yeah.
And yes, we realized that it's not going to be easy for anybody. That was
Oh. Good.
we don't want to.
No. We're not saying give up.
No.
Should win this one so that we can lose it, have Vancouver give it away for us. No. It just come down to one option for us.
Right.
Yeah.
We have to win, and then we need Vancouver's help.
Right. No, we do. We absolutely need Vancouver.
That's it.
If
That's
we
the
had
bottom
won
line.
in Vancouver, it would have been in our hands.
Yeah.
But we didn't, so now we have to rely on Vancouver to help us out.
Yes.
So, and you're right. This is not an easy thing for us to say. We all feel.
Oh yeah, no.
No.
we just
But
need
this
to
is-
know what you to be looking out for.
This
No,
is
no,
painful. We do not want to lose this one. at
No.
all.
No, I don't. No, we don't want to lose. No, we don't. But I still don't want to. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't want.
Adrian Hanauer says he doesn't
I
want
don't
it
want.
either.
I don't want George walking out of CenturyLink.
No.
Whatever field we're at.
It's absolutely.
And,
And
we
by
don't
the
want to
way,
have to put up a stone wall to keep it there, even if we lose outright.
it's goals scored is the first tiebreaker, not goals differential. So I had that wrong. So they would be in second place. We'd be in third place.
That's what I thought. That's what I
So
said.
I apologize.
It's okay.
Yeah, but we do not want Vancouver or Portland. Well, Vancouver can't win it, but we do not want Portland to walk
The only,
away.
And look,
the only
we're-
Cascadia team we can root for from here on out, other than ourselves, is Vancouver.
And we can sit there and debate this all night, but the fact is we're throwing it out there for our viewers that don't know or may not have paid attention to it, so they understand.
Yep.
We definitely agree, and yeah, everybody here threw up a little bit in their mouths talking about this.
This
so.
is basically for the people that go to Sounders games that hold up the letter D and a fence for defense.
Yes.
Okay, Adam.
Yes, sir.
Score.
Taking predictions at home: Seattle Sounders versus the Portland Timbers. Must-win, hard-fought game. Defense has been stout. I'm going to say victory, Seattle 1-0.
Okay. Lee.
Hard-fought, blood-ridden game. I'm going to see a zombie come out. I want to see. I want to see Zombie Johansson.
Zombie Johansson.
And he gets pissed.
I want to see Zombie Johansson with a 2-1 dirty win.
The Norseman.
I will put it this way. I want the kind of win that makes Portland want to scream and yell like the fucking Green Bay Packers for the last 2 weeks.
And make me scream and yell so blood like out of pure victory passion. Like it was a mortal combat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Finish him.
He basically killed someone.
You know what the amazing part is here? He hasn't been drinking all night.
No.
This is kind of funny to watch.
That's Galazzo.
Really? I thought it was alcohol, but now I just think it's the excitement of doing the lights and the camera. Okay, anyways.
The lighting makes Lee look better than me. I'm a little jealous about that.
I also am saying 2-1 in a hard fought battle.
I hope you're right.
That was kind of my feeling. It's going to be an interesting game, though. It's going to be a very emotional game.
It is.
For the fans. It's really emotional for me. I will be watching from about 2,500 miles away in Chicago. I've got a business trip this weekend, so.
Good point. When Portland fails to capture the cup.
Yep.
They'll have lost on three chances to do it, to grab it. They haven't.
That's right. You're right.
Their chances are being cut off like pieces of salami till almost to the end.
Which
exactly. Exactly.
And it gets
absolutely.
Which is kind of funny because we're sitting here we're trying to decide our fate in MLS Cup.
Yeah.
Right.
They're trying to decide their fate in a cup that doesn't give a shit about it.
Exactly.
That doesn't matter.
No.
Right.
I mean, it's pride. It's total pride.
No one else in the country or world knows what this is.
Now, did anybody get a chance to watch the game today, West Ham versus QPR?
No, but
ESPN3?
I was able to hear a lot of commentary via what little I got to see on Twitter today. There was a lot of anger about the amount of money that QPR spent on their team.
Oh, well, okay. But my point of this was tied into the game here. The number of times that they talked about the Portland-Seattle game was a lot. I mean, they talked about it a lot. They hyped it a lot.
Oh, the Timbers are the darlings of MLS,
of
Fox, ESPN, everyone. For some reason, they just love them.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because they're the only team that I don't know. I don't want to say it.
Say it.
No. I can't wait, though. I'm expecting very big things from our folks at ECS here. Which thank you, Justicar, for coming in and retweeting our tweet earlier.
Dues paying members here.
Yeah,
all
as
of
you
us.
can see. Yeah, we're here you go.
Scarves, shirts, and bloody throats.
I wish I was there to see the tifo. I'm sure it's going to be phenomenal.
Browse will have it. So.
Oh, I know he will. Yeah.
66,000 Endless Revolt on Twitter is working on it right now as we speak.
Well, we'll put it this way: he hasn't given any information out.
No.
Other than whenever we ask him, he just smiles real big.
It says nothing.
It says nothing.
Oh, sorry, there won't be a tifo. No,
there is no tifo for this match.
Tifo? There's no confirmed or denied. There's tifos.
We despise Portland so much that we were not graced them with an ECS tifo. They do not get to see it, sir.
I'm expecting something to see. So I'm hoping to see something. So. From my thousands of miles away on my business trip.
Well, what would it say? I don't know because I don't get to see the tifo thread anymore. So.
We locked you out, so that's good.
That was 2010.
Yeah, okay.
Did you wander in a little inebriated?
But
no.
So 66,000 people are already
66,000.
They're expecting about 67, 68 perhaps.
That means 72, probably.
So no, it can't be.
I know.
The number 2 all-time game in MLS, if we hit that number.
Yeah, number 1 all-time single game, not a doubleheader.
Correct.
I read on Twitter, I'm not sure if it's true or not, but there's a chance that this could be the second biggest game on that day.
Which is number 2.
In the world, yeah. It's only in the world.
In the world, yeah.
Only one EPL team.
Sporting event, right?
One EPL team is probably going to beat us, and if it weren't,
no EPL team can beat us.
Well, then there's one of that, but Manchester United's traveling, and if it weren't for that, then we'd be knocked down a notch.
Right.
But since they're traveling, we have a chance to get to 2.
Yeah. So amazing big game. If you don't have tickets, go try and find some. Good luck. My tickets
don't sit in my section.
Are yours sold yet?
No, not yet.
Yeah, don't. Yeah, mine aren't either.
I'm not selling them. I'm trying to get.
Are you going?
No, I can't. Oh, he is. Yeah, he is.
Oh shit, yes.
Okay.
So, nothing will stop me.
Anything else on Portland, or playoffs,
shit on them,
or anything that's going to happen this week?
I'm gonna hug you.
Okay, that's good. So hugs are coming in a few minutes
from the bear.
All right,
Give me
so
a
at
bear
this
hug.
point, we are wrapping up our soccer talk for the evening.
Yep.
You two wanted to talk a little bit of music.
Unless there's any questions or
Yeah,
want to
feel free to ask
comments in the
questions.
chat room, we are watching.
It's been great so far, so feel free to add any more. But let's move on to. You guys want to talk about music for about 5 minutes?
I just had a couple quick
and we're
things.
moving on.
Yeah, I'll go first really quickly. This is a mainstream thing. I think everyone's heard a couple Green Day tunes lately, probably, but their whole album that they just put out.
Yeah.
I'm in love with it. I can listen to it beginning to end. It goes by in like 2 minutes. It's so good.
It's because each song is 2 minutes.
No, well, yeah, that's kind of true.
Funny, actually,
It's
yeah.
kind of true.
Now he went into rehab.
But yeah. Oh no! Well, whatever he was listening to in rehab was 50s rockabilly and a little bit of 60s.
He went into rehab
after
now.
just last week.
Just now.
Oh,
These are now.
Then,
Yeah.
Well, that's probably why then.
Well, so you know the
Because
story
he
of
was
this.
listening to too much rockabilly.
You know the story of this disc, right? So they've recorded 3 discs in a row.
Right.
One was released last weekend,
And then 2
or
months
last week,
or a month.
The next one's on November 17th, and the next one's like
February.
January 6th or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
So they recorded 3 full-length
It's a
albums.
trilogy.
Yeah, and it's not a trilogy in the sense of like some serious concept albums, but it's tradition. Not tradition's not the word I should say. Transition points in their career and their musical scale.
Right.
Which is kind of really interesting to sit there and take a look at. So
Yeah.
I have not heard a single thing off it yet.
Oh my gosh.
I've been so out of everything for the last few weeks.
You'll be in
I
for a
have not.
treat. It is ear candy.
It is a pretty solid disc all around.
Okay.
I want to say it's 13 tracks.
Okay.
There's my favorite song on there is called "Kill the DJ," and only listen to it if you can. Only do it if you can listen to the F word said many times. But it'll get stuck in your head, and you'll be saying inappropriate words as you're around people that shouldn't be hearing it.
But if you do not like, that song is great. If you do not like dubstep, if you do not like house, if you do not like trance, if you like punk, you like rock and roll, you like.
There's
you like,
subtle references to killing the DJ in the song.
Subtle.
What's wrong with punk? Not punk. What's wrong with the dubstep? What's wrong with electronic?
Listen to the song.
Okay.
There's nothing wrong with it as musical styles.
Okay.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with it. It's
I just don't like it.
Yeah, I just don't like it.
I don't like you anymore.
I don't like you anymore either.
Okay. All right, the show's over. We're done. No, I'm kidding. All right, music.
So there's another disc on here that both Adam and I have listened to, and it's by a band called Hotel Diablo.
Yeah.
I found these guys on that metal show about 4 weeks ago.
And you tweeted it, and I went and looked at it. Immediately bought 2 of their albums.
They are
Not pirated, paid for.
So it's one of the guys from Quiet Riot, one of the guys from Jane's Addiction, I believe.
Yep.
And a couple other guys doing music. And it is, if you like hard rock, if you like that hard rock sound from 89, 88, 87, not glamour rock, not glam rock at all,
it's just,
but actual real hard rock, good lyrics, fast guitars, faster women. It is a great rock and roll CD.
Yeah, no, it's true. I bought it. I heard one song. I bought the first album. Listened to it all the way through. Bought the second one unheard. Just I bought it off iTunes.
Right.
And in the album I just talked about, the Green Day, I bought. I don't pirate music except to share a track every once in a while with friends to get them hooked. But I'll share a track every now and then. But yeah, you got me hooked.
Yeah, it's
we
a good one.
tweeted it. I listened to it. Check them out. I listened to their album again today. It stood up after a week or after a few weeks. It stood up. So
that's
do it.
good. And you wanted to talk about the new Hailstorm, right?
I like the Hailstorm album. It's awesome. It has a female lead singer. It's hard rock.
Yeah.
And you can tell whoever writes their music, it's her, but she listens and has listened to rock and roll all her life. Every song is shot through with references of American rock and roll from the 50s to modern times.
Nice.
There's nods to the Beach Boys and AC/DC.
Nice.
But you have to also have lived that life. And you'll hear a line and you'll be like, that's a callback to the Beach Boys or California Girls or whatever. It's fun. It's not super heavy. But it's awesome. Hailstorm's latest album. I love it.
Okay.
All right, I've got one more I want to talk about.
And then I want one musical point, and then we'll move on.
Okay. So the one I want to talk about is the new No Doubt CD that came out last Tuesday.
Oh, is it any good?
No.
Really? Okay, I actually like No Doubt.
Oh.
Okay.
I actually like No Doubt too. I like them a lot.
I like 3 songs.
I heard so many good things about the new No Doubt. It's called No Shout or Push and Shout. I heard so many good things about it. Bought it sight unseen.
Yeah.
Didn't listen to a track.
That sucks.
Here's the thing. Thank you. I like it, but it is not No Doubt. It is a mix between Gwen Stefani and No Doubt doing Gwen Stefani's club stuff she did 4 years ago.
Kill the DJ.
So basically they threw in all the instrumentals and they did it all by hand versus bringing in electronica stuff.
All right.
It sounds really good. If you have any enjoyment in some of the stuff she did with Lady Saw a couple years ago with that reggae sound, it's you will like it. If you don't, you probably won't. So, one more thing, and I'll let you go. We do have a new music blog up on sonarcast.com.
We do.
We do have a review of the new Killer CD up there, which is called Battleborn.
Yep.
Go take a look at it. It's about 500 words of pure love.
Not to be confused with Jerry Lee Lewis,
No,
the Killer.
the Killer.
And
Yes.
this blog, I imagine, will become more active as this after the MLS season is over.
Yes.
Because
Correct.
I have a lot of stuff to add to that. It's just
Yeah.
soccer now.
My first post will be a good one. I'm writing. I'm working on.
Good.
So that'll come up in a few weeks.
You actually started?
I've started in my head.
Oh.
Which for me, 90% of my writing, if I don't have it in my head, I can't finish it.
Please,
So,
please tell me it's on somebody whose initials are RA.
They are. It
Awesome.
is. It
I
is.
can't wait.
We have 2 comments here in the blog. The Happy Honda CD, the new one. Have you heard it yet?
I have not.
I haven't
I've
either.
not.
So I can't answer that one, Brad. We'll come back to that one in a few
Why
weeks.
do you have to put us on the spot like that, Mac?
Mumford and Sons.
I have heard
I have
it.
not heard it.
I was really excited about
I've
the
heard
CD
nothing lately. I'm so
because
excited.
they actually said in an interview in Rolling Stone about a year and a half ago they were never going to release another CD.
They're going to be mum for the rest of their lives.
But about a year and 5 months ago, they said, "Okay, we're coming out with another CD." Shut up. But
Like every other band that's ever done that. It's like,
Yeah.
we're done,
So-
we're breaking up.
But
farewell show.
Mumford & Sons, for those who don't know, came out last summer, and they had a phenomenal. They went to the Lollapalooza. They went to all the festivals,
Right.
blew it up, got huge. They've been doing stuff with the Jazz and Blues Festival in Denver. All kinds of crazy stuff. This new CD is lackluster.
Really?
It sounds exactly like the first CD.
Thank you for saving me
Wow.
the pain and misery, Lee.
I know, I like it. Don't get me wrong, I like it,
Well.
but it is lackluster. There's one track on the entire song, and it's like track 12 of the bonus material, not even of the original material, of the bonus
bonus, the
material called the
Japan
Boxer, which is done with somebody else. I
A
can't
cover
remember.
of,
The Boxer,
yeah.
which is a cover song. Yes,
We've heard it all.
yes, which is the best song in the disc. And I love these guys. So for them to do that to me, I was crushed. It was a day after my birthday, and I peed myself.
I'm only a fan of one lackluster thing in the world, and that's our podcast.
True story.
Good job. That's yeah. So T. Peter agrees with you. Pretty much agreed. He wanted it to be more. And I have not heard it, so I can't even begin to talk
Like more
about it.
cowbell or what?
I am. No, more cowbell would be. I'm all for that. I'm all for that.
He hasn't got new music since 1996 anyway.
Pretty much.
I was pretty sure he was going to mention Total Eclipse of the Heart as his song of the week.
No, that was your song of the week. You already started
What's the
singing
fun
it,
in-
asshole.
I get in your car and
Watch-
that's what you're playing.
Watch the show from the beginning, ladies and gentlemen. You'll get it.
So, all right. One more thing I want to talk about real quick, because since we're on off-topic conversations, is as the season winds down, the TV season kind of got weird. I'm not a big fan of a lot of the new stuff that's going on, but The Walking Dead comes out shortly.
Yes.
2 weeks?
I think it's 2 weeks.
Okay.
And I can't
It's either the
wait.
8th. It's either
You don't watch The Walking
No,
Dead.
no,
God,
it's
yeah,
either
I
Sunday.
have them all on my
Oh,
hard
you do?
drive in
Okay,
high
okay,
def.
okay. It's either this
Okay.
Sunday or next Sunday.
It's not this Sunday for sure. I guarantee
it's
that.
next
I'll
Sunday.
be amongst the first to BitTorrent in
No,
high
you're right.
def
It's the
with no
14th.
commercials.
It's the 14th. It's the 14th.
And I can't wait. For
So I just downloaded. I'm sorry. I borrowed season 2 from somebody.
Yeah.
That I got to get catch up on.
You need to give it back.
No, it's
You
like-
haven't
I need
watched
it.
I haven't watched 2 yet.
I need that back soon.
And wait. Okay.
No, it's
now,
on Netflix.
Oh, I know.
I'm a big reader too. I mean, it's one of my. So I don't music. I listen to it, but unfortunately, I'm kind of stuck in weird land where I'm not like everybody else here. I read a ton.
What?
And I gotta tell you, go
Overrated.
Go get the Walking Dead Rise of the Governor book. It's phenomenal. Right now on iTunes.
No spoilers.
It was on. No, I know.
All right.
It was it's a cheap. It's like $1.99 or $2 or something like that.
I'm
It's
on the mother
ridiculous.
effort.
It is a great read, and the Governor is going to come into play this year.
Oh, nice.
So that was
No
a
more
sneak
spoilers.
peek. No. They've talked about it.
I know, I've seen it.
But
The-
watch the book. It's. I'm actually reading it again in excitement for the show coming up.
Sure.
Oh my god, I can't wait for this book.
I don't
or
like
movie.
zombie, scary, horror
TV.
bullshit.
Yeah.
I don't like zombie shit. Walking Dead is not about zombies and gore so much. It happens in it, but that's not what it's about. So if you're like me and you don't even like horror movies or the zombies, you're not into that craze. The show's not about that. Check it out from the episode.
It's
awesome.
No, not even close.
Humanity. It's awesome.
Which is why a lot of people don't in the second season. So I'm interested. Have you watched anything yet in the second season?
No.
Okay. I want to talk to you as you go through it.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of people, and I know you've seen it online. You've seen the spoilers and stuff.
I've tried to ignore them all, but yes.
But this won't be a spoiler for you. But people went from, oh my god, to what the hell are they doing, to oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you right now, Sons of Anarchy just did that last week.
Okay, now I've never watched that show ever, so we'll come back to that.
Let's do it in post show. We'll talk more TV if you guys are.
Right.
We'll do some post.
Let's wrap this shit show up.
Thank you all very much for coming out. This was a good show. It felt good.
I was just going to throw out our number one more time.
Please.
The 425-390-4365. Give us a call on the voicemail line.
Yep.
Say whatever you want.
Oh, hold on. Also, we have this limited edition.
Only one ever. It will be the only one ever.
Signed
with our nicks.
That we will be giving away shortly.
Yes, we
will. Not tonight, but shortly.
It is yet to be given away.
So,
keep your ears and eyes open. Be alert.
We already have a few of the shirts going out without their signatures, but that'll be the only one that we're going to sign of this vintage shirt. So, anything else? You're good?
Love you.
We love you guys. Thanks for watching.
Okay.
We'll see you next Monday.
We love you all. Stay around for the post-game show if you want to see some more crazy, random nonsense.
Some TV and music and some swearing.
We didn't see any rules, did we, Charlie?
Wrong, sir, wrong. Wrong, sir, wrong. Wrong, sir, wrong. Wrong, sir, wrong. You lose a contract signed by him. You get washed. You get sterilized. You get nothing. Good day. You lose. Wrong, sir, wrong. I said wrong, sir, wrong. You get wrong, sir, wrong. I said wrong, sir, wrong. You lose. Black and white, all there. Black and white, all there. Black and white, all there. Clear as crystal. You lose. Good day, nothing. You get 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 nothing. You get nothing. You get nothing. Clear as crystal. You lose. Black and white, all there. Black and white, all there. Black and white, all there. Clear as crystal. You lose. Fax mentis incendium gloria culpa memo bis punitor della castambra etc.
You're a swindler.
Wrong, sir, wrong.
You're a cheat.
Wrong, sir, wrong.
You're a swindler.
Wrong, sir, wrong.
And you're a monster.
Good day, nothing. You get 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 37 beep of a static copy, 37 beep of a full static copy, 37 beep of a full static copy, 37 beep of a full static copy. You stole nothing. You what? You stole nothing. You what? You stole nothing. You what? Chocolate? Wrong. You lose. Black and white, all there. Black and white, all there. Black and white, all there. Black and white, all there.
Mr. Wonka?
I said,
Mr. Wonka? Mr. Wonka?
I said,
Mr. Wonka? Mr. Wonka?
I said,
Mr. Wonka?
I said,